Star Trek: Starfleet Academy introduces a slew of new aliens and brings back several familiar species. Executive produced by Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landor, Star Trek: Starfleet Academy premieres Thursday, January 15, 2026, on Paramount+. Set after the end of Star Trek: Discovery, Star Trek: Starfleet Academy becomes the new farthest continuous point in Star Trek's timeline. Starfleet Academy expands upon the late 32nd century with the United Federation of Planets continuing to rebuild after the burn. Star Trek: Starfleet Academy introduces the first class of cadets in 120 years to matriculate on Earth, as well as in outer space aboard the USS Athena, a starship that doubles as Starfleet Academy's campus when it docks in San Francisco. Naturally, Starfleet Academy will host both humans and aliens, with several new species representing the scope of the 32nd Century Federation. Of course, a number of popular classic Star Trek aliens are also embodied by Starfleet Academy's characters. Star Trek: Starfleet Academy's confirmed humans include Cadet Caleb Meir, Sandro Roster, Lieutenant Sylvia Tilly, Mary Wiseman, Commander Jet Reno, Tig Notaro, and Admiral Charles Vance, Oded Feyer. Presumably, Caleb's mother, played by Tatiana Maslany, is also human. While there will be even more exotic extraterrestrials seen throughout Star Trek: Starfleet Academy, here are the show's 10 confirmed alien species known so far. Lanthanite, Captain Nolarake. Captain Nolarake, Holly Hunter, is half Lanthanite. Lanthanites are an extremely long-lived humanoid species introduced by Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Commander Pelia, Carol Kane, who is a 5,000-year-old Lanthanite. Captain Ake, by comparison, is 422 years old. Ake is both the Chancellor of Starfleet Academy and the captain of the USS Athena. Nola also has a personal connection to Caleb Meir and recruits him into Starfleet Academy to keep him safe from the villainous NUS Braka, Paul Giamatti. Darshaw, Genesis Live. Starfleet Academy Cadet Genesis Live, Bella Shepard, is a member of the Darshaw race. Darshaw is a new species introduced in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy. Humanoid in appearance, Darshaws have distinctive ridges above their eyes. The particular qualities and any abilities the Darshaw possess are yet to be seen in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy. Genesis, meanwhile, is the daughter of a Starfleet admiral, and her single-minded goal is to become a captain. Keonian, Darem Raimi. Starfleet Academy Cadet Darem Raimi, George Hawkins, is a Keonian, another new species representing the 32nd Century Federation in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy. Kionans appear human, and it's yet to be revealed if they have any particular abilities. Darem Raimi comes from a wealthy family that demands high achievement from the young cadet. Naturally competitive and athletic, Darem also wants to become a Starfleet captain, and is driven by his desire to prove himself, possibly to Cadet Raimi's detriment. Kaskian, Sam. Cadet Sam, Kerr Brooks, is the first Kaskian in Starfleet Academy. Kaskians are yet another new species introduced in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy, and Sam stands for Series Acclimation Mill. Kaskians are holographic beings, and Sam was programmed to be a young adult. Sam only came online weeks before she enrolled in Starfleet Academy. As such, Sam is rather like a newborn, everything is so fresh to her, and the Kaskian brings absolutely no baggage, says Kerr Brooks. Klingon, Jaden Krag. Jaden Krag, Kareem Dayan, is another Starfleet Academy cadet, and he is a Klingon. Of course, Klingons have been in Star Trek since the saga began in the 1960s, and Jaden appears to be a 32nd century continuation of the most popular incarnation of the feared warrior race. Remarkably, Jaden Krag is on Starfleet Academy Sciences track to become a medical officer, which would likely place him under the tutelage of the Doctor, Robert Picardo. A Klingon who wants to become a doctor is a novel twist by Star Trek: Starfleet Academy. Betazoid, Tarima Sadel. Tarima Sadel, Zoe Steiner, is a Betazoid, the empathic species introduced by Star Trek: The Next Generation's counselor Deanna Trowari, Marina Sirtis. The daughter of Betaized's president, Tarima and Caleb Meir are Star Trek: Starfleet Academy's young lovers, which could be a forbidden romance. Betazoids can read the minds and emotions of others, but Tarima Sadel's abilities come with an alarming twist. Tarima appears to be more psychically powerful than other Betazoids. Worse, Sadel sometimes can't control her power, which could make her a threat in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy. Emergency medical hologram, the Doctor. The Doctor in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy is the same emergency medical hologram introduced in Star Trek: Voyager. After serving as a mentor to Starfleet Academy cadets in Star Trek: Prodigy, the Doctor continues as an instructor and possible historian 800 years later in Star Trek: Starfleet Academy. In Star Trek: Starfleet Academy's 32nd Century, The Doctor has evolved beyond the need of an emitter to maintain his physical form, but the burden of 8 centuries of knowledge and enduring the deaths of his closest friends weighs on the EMH. The Doctor is also a mentor to Sam, a fellow holographic being. Klingon Jem'Hadar hybrid, Lura Thok. Lura Thok, Gina Yashir, is a half Klingon and half Jem'Hadar hybrid. Introduced in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, the Jem'Hadar were the genetically engineered soldiers of the Dominion. The Jem'Hadar were bred for short lifespans and a dependence on Ketracellite, but they have evolved in 800 years. The cadet master of Starfleet Academy and first officer of the USS Athena, Lura Thok is the result of her Klingon and Jem'Hadar parents' breeding. This likely makes Thok doubly intimidating and fierce in combat. It will be fascinating for Star Trek, Starfleet Academy to explore what it means to be a Jem'Hadar-Klingon hybrid. Digital Dean of Students, Stephen Colbert. At New York Comic Con, talk show host and comedian Stephen Colbert announced that he is voicing Star Trek, Starfleet Academy's Digital Dean of Students. Presumably, Colbert will only be heard and not seen in Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Colbert's announcement joked that the Digital Dean of Students will make announcements, but the title Digital Dean of Students hints at a more far-reaching administrative role and another form of artificial intelligence in Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Klingon Tellarite hybrid, NUS Braka. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy Season 1's recurring villain, NUS Braka, is another Klingon hybrid, a mix of a Klingon and a Tellarite. Like Klingons, the cantankerous and argumentative, pig-like Tellarites were introduced by Star Trek, the original series in the 1960s.